What are the people saying?
5 local governments out of the 32 local government is more than many states in the north.
The economy is booming. Where is the economy booming?
Bomb blast in Abuja.
Don't you have security?
Why are we fighting?
The presidency should not just sit in Abuja or in Asokoro or wherever he lives.
Sellers are sponsoring this Boko Haram. They know them. Men cannot be there and be there at the same time.
The life of the citizens, community need to be protected.
It can't work out.
Bring the message of peace.
Let there be proper devolution of power from the center. The center is too powerful.
The People, only on Core TV News.
Welcome back. It's Core TV, and we are looking at some of the messages you sent on Facebook, Twitter, and, well, YouTube. You'll get to see after this program. And we still have our guest, Barrister Wale Ogunade, with us. Some of the messages sent in, this was, I strongly believe that the West, that is the US, France, Britain, wants to weaken Nigeria. And that is why they are fully behind all the Boko Haram terrorist operation. Jonathan is summoned, to invite a security summit in Paris, and once the attendance or some such has been obtained, all of a sudden Boko Haram proxy leaders will offer to release these girls. The same from Babak Keo within the hour. Whether he likes it or not, the truth shall reveal itself someday, somehow. Having carefully read the above reports in segments, I have come to conclusion that Nigeria is a big mess, an inevitable danger. It has now turned into a situation where CAN, that is the Christian Association of Nigeria, has started assuming or believing that the heinous act of a small group of terrorists, that is the Boko Haram, is an automatic fight against the church and Christianity by Muslims in Nigeria. You have anyone there?
Yes, I have this one from Niger Born. James Obiora, why is Governor Shetima playing politics with all this? All of a sudden, is now leading in the rescue operation when he has made us understand for the past 2 years that he is not the commander-in-chief and so does not have any power to do so. How did he now get all these powers he's using now? Who gave him this new power? Interesting. Refused to have meeting with, you skipped something there since the abduction saga. What a hypocrite. I hope the Fulani can now realize, like the First Lady has said, that there is God in everything we do. You can now see the turn of events. We already know that the Fulani will start talking of negotiations for Boko Haram the moment the international community steps into this matter. Well, let Governor Shetima and his Fulani brethren release those girls and stop all this video thing. Enough already. God bless Nigeria. Thank you so much for your contribution.
Keep the Twitter handle coming. Keep liking us on Facebook as well as our YouTube. After this program, well, you'll be able to see our YouTube. I was telling you about the friend from the United States yesterday, or on phone. And, this is a serious, lovely babe.
Shaggy Martins.
Well, we get
Don't
back
go
to
there,
that. But
please.
go to our YouTube page after this program, and of course, all that will be uploaded for you to see. You'll be seeing the wonderful face of Wale in America in a short while. In any case, now those are the messages on Twitter.
Yes.
How would you respond to some of these? Shetima, the issue of CAN, and of course, the man who says Britain, France may know something about these Boko Haram terrorists. They want to be, they know about their proxy.
All these are opinions and their issues on ground. And to me, I guess that all these things will be brought on the table and we now distill them. We should remove them from the beer parlor discussion.
Indeed, indeed.
Because this thing affects the state called Nigeria. It affects the space called the world. Just as I said earlier on, an attack on one is an attack on all. Today, just as someone was trying to say, is some people now. It may be you tomorrow, and anybody in another form anyway. If you become a victim of armed robbery, obviously, you are a victim. You have suffered. if you become a victim of not being attended to on time as a result of being involved in a vehicular accident, you are a victim
hospital.
in a hospital. The way the nurse behave, lack of drugs, so many things. The electricity is not working, so many things that flows in that regard. The blood bank is not working. Now there is no blood in the bank itself. There are no drugs in the hospital. The equipment to work to save the life is not functioning, or is outdated, or is, you see, it's a whole lot of activities. So that's why I was talking earlier on that, look, let's call a spade a spade. Or else, at the end of the day, you see, when you rationalize here, you'll find out that you'll get caught in the next junction. So let's face the whole reality and let's see. Perhaps, maybe this again is a blessing in disguise. To me, you see, I see a hope in every situation, negative as some people will see. Look at it now. We all know, I've been a victim several times, that we want to organize peaceful rallies. All of a sudden, the policemen will just come, boo, 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 they will tear gas us. But look at it now. The IG, except he want to capitulate, or he will say, no, it's because of the women, because there is that is, to me, an administrative order, that from now on, protesters who want to run a civil protest are allowed. And that's a practice all over the world. So if this is one of the things that we get from all these challenges, super. Because you see, the people have a right to protest when things are not going on right. And it's a fundamental right all over the world. Civil people will congregate, and civilly they will move around to ensure that, no, we don't want this, we don't want that. And you allow them to express their opinion. Not that you now immediately people bring up an idea that they want to protest against something, you use the state apparatus to disturb them. It's not done. And of course, by the time you force people to ventilate their anger publicly, you want them to go under like the Shekau man. And I'm going to Shekau. I grew up in the north. I schooled in the north. When I was going to school in the north as a kid, you see the Hausa guys, they attend the cleric, the cleric school, the Malams, they call them. They will be saying, Yam makaran tambo koko, ba karatu ba sanla, say yawanzagi malam. What does it mean? That we are useless people. We have nothing to do. We are just wasting our time. All we do is that we go to that school, the government, the Western school, to go and abuse our teachers. And these are people, they are there, no doubt. But between me and them, who is better off? Education, we know, is the engine of growth. Anybody who says industry is the engine of growth is a liar. If you have all the industries in the world and there's nobody who is educated to man those industries, will they produce anything?
Indeed not. So,
education is the engine of growth. So anybody who says education is bad, that person needs to be checked.
Let's go back to the comments someone made on Twitter who says that all these foreigners, foreign helps, and these nations coming to help us are coming to weaken us. And some have shared the opinion that we might be indebted to them. Helping might just be on the surface. At the end of the day, we might be paying back debts we never thought about.
Obviously, it's not as if it's going to be a rush thing as so. I'm sure there will be I's to be dotted and T's to be crossed. So I don't think it's just like that. But again, be that as it may, they may come and cause trouble. Of course, we know if maybe people will be looking at the situation in Afghanistan, the situation in Iran, that the Americans got there, and of course, till today, there is no peace. And of course, some people who are saying, yes, the Boko Haram, maybe these countries are the one that initially fueled this project. Because, my sister, the armored tank, the APC that we saw behind Shekau, are not things that you go to on Allen Avenue, where they sell vehicles and buy. They are not things that you go to, is it Pijo Nigeria or or even you know Chris in his ingenuity, you know Chris Motors does not have that ingenuity to manufacture an armored tank.
Or keep one in his store.
Or keep one in his home. It's something, is a specific and a specialized product. And it's not something that you drive anywhere and people will not see. And where am I going is that for him, Shekau, to have it, then definitely there's something that should be questioned. It's something that that should be looked into. Because obviously, they can't drop it. I don't think it was dropped. I don't think so. And even if it's dropped, obviously you can't fly into Nigerian airspace. A foreign plane cannot fly into Nigerian airspace without being I identified and given the permit to get into the Nigerian airspace, in my stupid knowledge, in my ignorant knowledge, I know about that. Then, the vehicle, let's assume now it was taken to the border, either Chad or Cameroon or any other country near us.
It still needed to be carried
in. And we say we are in a state of emergency, those 3 states bordering the border of Nigeria and these other countries. And the Adamawa, Yobe, and Borno. So if we are in a state of emergency, obviously, I know that there are checkpoints. And you went to Maiduguri, so you confirm that all over that place, those places, there are checkpoints all over, military.
All over.
So how can that armored carrier get to Sambisa Forest or get to their control if some people did not see? So obviously there are some elements of connivance there.
Even if we look at the connivance, we don't know from where and from what quarters, as it were. The reality is, well, you've mentioned the APC, that is the armored carrier. But our soldiers, our military, our intelligence are aware of this, and they see these things, and yet within that area, they made to tread softly. Why is that?
Well, there are 2 things. It's either they do not believe in the Nigerian state, or they are disenchanted, or they are disgruntled, or they have been bought over.
Uh-oh.
Who had it? I mean, I guess a Nigerian soldier some few weeks ago gave an interview to the other BBC, I guess
to the Voice of America,
VOA, that they are not taken care of. And so, unfortunately, hilariously, some few weeks ago, the Nigerian government says they want to enlist people into the Nigerian army, that people should enlist. And of course, along the line, maybe on the social media, people were saying that if Boko Haram says they should come, they are ready to go and fight for Boko Haram rather than fighting for Nigeria. It's as bad as that, because the Nigerian government does not take care of or see to it that indeed the allocation for welfare and, of course, gets to the soldiers on the field. There are insinuations that indeed most of them who worked for the UN in their various peacekeeping missions have not been given their entitlement and allowances till now. Not only that, immediately after that, they are drafted to the Sambisa Forest or to fight Boko Haram. Obviously, it is a principle in Yoruba land that it is when your head is swelling that your body will be ready to work very well. If I'm cheated, obviously I won't have a sense of belonging. I won't be happy to do my job.
But is that justification enough for someone like Oguche, who has been found out to be a suspect in the Nyanya bomb blast? Is that because he once served in the intelligence unit of the Nigerian army? Is that enough reason to join terrorism? Because you're not well taken care of?
What was it now? What was this man, the former MD of UBA, Mutalab?
Yes, Mutalab.
He's not a poor boy. The son was, the man is not a poor man, and the son had all the best education in the world. Where did he end up? So sometimes there are some human behaviors that are just absurd, and you put them into all those compartments. But again, he will have a reason. When eventually he's gotten and captured and interrogated, he may tell you that, yes, I'm just against the state. Let's look at it. You see, a state must protect its own, provide for its own, and take care of its own. Unfortunately, in Nigeria, we run a system of God for you alone.
No, God for us all.
God for us alone. God for us all. There is nothing on ground that the state will say, yes, I provide houses. And just as I tell you, I crisscross Nigeria on a regular basis. I've gone to all the 774 local governments in this country. Do you know the 1004 estate, that big estate? That
Yes.
If you have, when you went to Maiduguri, did you see any there? None in Bayelsa, none in Shagam, none in Abeokuta, none in Akure, none in Zaria, none in Kaduna, none in Maiduguri, none in Borno, none in Kano, everywhere. And of course, the principle again is that housing, and that's why I like a country like India. If you've been there before, the rural area is dominated by housing estates. To take away the rural-urban
migration,
you provide houses, the state will be seen to be doing something. Unfortunately, what you see is that government, the oil money is being taken by one or two people. To the extent Jonathan is telling us where if 20 billion, if anybody steals 20 billion, the banks will know. Haba. Abacha stole more than that. And when we are shouting, they said na lie, but na true don't come out now when he died. And to the extent that I guess about 3 months ago or so, the American government, in its own largesse, after they have spent our money, they have used it to invest very well. They now said we should come and take, I guess, $360 million. Haba. I mean, these people are not fools. How can you say that you can't get money? That the money, if anybody steals 20 billion, they will see it. But people have been stealing money since the time of Babangida. In fact, since the time of Buhari, they've been stealing government money, and we've been hearing and seeing it.
The government admitted, in fact, the president in his media chart admitted that the military is constrained because of lack of investment into our military. If that be the case, now that we are in a quagmire and we needed to surge this situation very urgently, to use the words of the American First Lady, who says, you must use every means, free these girls at any cost. The abducted girls must be freed at any cost. That is what the American First Lady is suggesting. And we're saying, well, we didn't invest, so how do we go about it? Now we're looking for a solution. I'm
laughing because you'll be my star witness. Fortunately, you went to Maiduguri recently. And I put it to you, as we lawyers always put it to them. Did you see any private initiative in terms of industry, factory, private schools in Maiduguri that you went?
I went to Badambua.
Did you see any there? Compared to the west here, south in the Yoruba land and Igbo land. So, and unfortunately, it is the principle of the idle hand becoming the devil's workshop. I told you when I was there now, they were abusing us. So, if people like that, they have no value for life, when they grow up, because they are not educated, they care less. As we talk now, this principle of Almajirinchi, that's people going around with the plate and begging, is still there. And we've been shouting, send these people to school. Discourage this issue of people becoming beggars.
The president gave money in that regard, did he not?
We'll get there now. Person get money, and the thing is not working. Won't the president say, no, what is happening? I gave you money. What is
92 million.
Why is the money I gave for this project? Is it forbidden? But you see, you give an assignment, my brother. Maybe you are in charge of this program, or whoever is in charge of this program. Obviously, there is a head of this station. If this program does not go on, will they come and call me as a guest that did not come? They will hold you responsible.
Indeed.
Huh? So you gave somebody money. Look, I want this nomadic, even if it's nomadic education that you want to. What's the big deal about nomadic education? My sister, we all know there are caravan all over. You get a big caravan, you put it on a trailer, and you take it to meet them in the bush, if that's their plan. But how many trailers do they have? How many teachers? What is it on ground? The only day you saw it was the day it was launched, and they call you guys. You carry it, put it on air, and that's all. And we say we are running a government. When you don't do the right thing, definitely this is what will happen. We are running fire brigade. I'll come to the issue of the military. Did they get to this mess? When armed bandits, you know, they will just go around all over Africa, since there is proliferation, there are violence all over, small arms, big arms, armored carrier, armored personal carrier, and
now being sold.
They are being sold like you sell vehicle on the road, on the street corner. You see all those things. You too, why don't you go and buy? So that you equip. Because you know that you have caused wahala. And the wahala is that you have not allowed social amenities, infrastructures, and facilities to go around. Why? Since you have caused that, you know that definitely there will be a reaction. All these things will bring out. And the principle is, if the poor are not happy, the rich
cannot go to sleep.
We heard about the arrest of some suspects of the Yaya bomb blasts, about 5 of them. We have Muhammad Ishaq, Ahmed Abubakar, Yao Saidu, Anas Isa, and Adamu Yusuf were given a sigh of relief. But then, the 2 masterminds are on the run, and 25 million naira has been placed as ransom by the police. Is that a right step in the right direction?
Well, you see, this medicine after death. when they were showing the footage, maybe they will bring it out again. You see somebody who was maybe banana snacks. That's it.
That's it.
He's an innocent guy who is struggling to make a living. Life has been snuffed out of his life. So you arrest these guys. Now, what's the Nigerian? Even as a right activist, I am against death penalty, because death is not a punishment. Death is not a punishment. So why will you, if by the time you kill, that's all. Meanwhile, we are talking about suicide bombers. And when you say somebody is a suicide bomber, what does it mean? It means the man is already, he's dead. He's dead. So all he wants to do is to go and just finish it all and use some people to go along with. So what's they have arrested 5, they have waiting concern me with that one. The issue is that how do we save that, stop that nonsense, this carnage? This guy has, I just said, those people have no value for life. The other day, some people went and attacked the mall in Uganda, Connie. In Kenya. Look at this literary giant. What's his name from Gambia? From Ghana.
Professor Kofi Awuno.
This an intellectual. So if you arrest somebody like this one that has no value for life, what will he do? What is the essence of arresting him and prosecuting him? What's the essence? But the man is killed, and so many people.
We're talking about the money placed on the rats now as ransom. Did I say ransom? Bounty.
The bounty. If they have used those funds to cure this problem, who are people that will be... You want 50 million naira? It's no joke. If it's 50 million, you know how many Hilux jeeps they can buy to go around to patrol? That 25 million or 50 million? You know how much they will use in maybe, okay, you, when I did for Kyoya, every one of you, 200,000 naira each. My dear sister, they will be alert with their job because they've been motivated. Some of them, you go, they have not gotten their allowances or salaries for months.
Those are the military.
And you put them on the field to be working. And to cut my lie, even in Lagos, I just take it. Thank God for channels the other day with the police college thing. Then there are still many. So if these people are not happy, you don't want them to work very well. Look at you now here, and bankers and all. If you are not well paid, nobody will want to do any good job. If you are not motivated, forget it. And you see, let's call a spade a spade. That's my problem. And the principle is, if you say it, you will die. If you don't say it, you will not die. You will die. So why don't you say it and go? And again, for the opting time, I will refer all my listeners to go and open the book of Isaiah 5:28. Woe unto him who see the truth and call it lie, and those who see lie and call it the truth. We won't get anywhere. We'll just be moving like this, my chair, in circles. Nothing, because the truth is not being told. People are working, you don't pay them. You put them under serious condition, just as you witnessed, and you expect to get the best result. And the other side, they are motivating them. I want to believe this one that they show, maybe now Joro and Wuru, because the promise that they have for these Boko Haram guys is that, yes, if you do it very well, when you get to heaven, you are entitled to 10 virgins straight.
What has that got to do with it? Let's come to some serious issues now.
It's serious. I'm going somewhere. I'm going somewhere. Those are the motivation. Those are things that will motivate them. It's about the motivation.
These are human sensualities.
No, wait, I'm going somewhere. You and I are human beings.
Indeed.
Maybe you are playing the devil advocate, but I'll meet you there. You know, you're playing the devil advocate. I'm a real-time advocate. The issue is that what do you do to motivate? When somebody hears about that, of every 10 men, 8 of them are interested in women. I'll give it to 2. Of the 2, one of them may not be that. Maybe give him 50%, but generally, because that's how the world is, that's what the man
mind.
So you now tell a man that, don't worry, you have 10 of this type of a thing. And apart from that, as soon as you are dead, your family, your wife will be taken care of. We'll give them so many millions. They will put their life on the line. And yeah, these people, as I'm talking to you, I guess 3 Sundays ago, that Sunday, I can't remember this channel, the television station. Women whose husband died in action. Yeah, these Nasara people.
Okay, yes.
That's why the Nasara people, they are gone, people or whatever.
Yes.
Their wives were on air. They were crying that they have not been taken care of by the states. And of course, you know, these are people in this force. A woman was saying she has 13 children. So, let us send them to Keshi now. That is enough to be a national team. 13 children to be a national team to play for Nigeria. But there's another. She said she's crying. And of course, she was clutching a baby. How will take care? How can they get educated? What's the welfare program for these people? And when we talk, they will say no. And these are real-time situations. Government must care for its people. Then those who work for government must be taken care of.
Let's come to the issue of militant terrorists being arrested and being in custody for 5 years. Justice delayed is justice denied. You know that.
I know that.
And on a situation like this, how many of these terrorists have been arrested and yet have not been brought to the law?
That's where I'm coming now. And it's a good one you ask that question. You see, we have a law on ground and nobody can change the law. It's not done like that. Many people see me and my colleagues, some of us who are involved in this thing, they say, you lawyers are the one destroying this country. And I say,
it has been suggested severally.
Yeah, I say, no, lawyers are not lawmakers. Lawyers work with the law. And it is the law on ground that lawyers will work with. And don't forget, generally, the essence of the lawyer, the work of the lawyer is to ensure that he gets his client out of the woods. That's the essence of the lawyer, to defend his client. And of course, he will take and use all the tricks in the law books to get that done. But when you have a law that is straightforward, that is 20th century compliant, then definitely the lawyer's work will be reduced. The ability to get legal gymnastics to get his client off the hook will be difficult. And that's why and where I'm going is that about the voters, they are Nigerian people. The elections are coming. Look at people who have the conscience, who have the fear of God, people who have antecedent, people you can relate with. Because in my work as president of Voters Awareness Initiative, I know that when the elections are coming, you find people who have never related with the people. They will be the one that the political godfathers will push up. They will become candidates. At the end of the day, once they get elected, you don't see them again. Let me learn, please. Then when you don't see them, these are the people that make laws for you. And sometimes they care less about laws. And maybe I'll just let you in. When you see the National Assembly, those who are lawmakers, you find most of the time, the hallowed chambers indeed is hollow. Because people are not there.
No, because the reality is, here is a man demanding justice. That look, had you put these people to court, we've known of so many of these people who have been arrested. We've brought even a serving lawmaker to be questioned.
Yes.
And this matter went to court, and it was we can't say for sure that this matter is either sub judice or not there, because this man is still sitting in the same hallowed chamber. He's been questioned over it. Issues of law with respect to this militancy had been very quiet. Why that? You are the human rights activist.
Yes.
And Shekau saying so, that these are the people I want for exchange. They've been sitting in your custody for 5 years. Should it not be right?
I've already answered you earlier on. But
no, we know. Looking at the aspect of their acts, I can understand. But the truth is, whoever it is, as an officer of the court, we have responsibility to anyone whose justice is delayed, because that justice is denied, is it not?
Section 45 is clear here of the 1999 Constitution. If issues of securities are involved, life and property,
it takes over.
Takes over. There's nothing we can do about that, and that's where I'm going. About us not being the lawmakers. I'm a lawyer. Mine is to work with the law. Mind you, I don't do criminal. But I'm just talking now as a lawyer and as a rights activist. So when it borders on issues of security, your rights and all the attachment, all the benefits attached to it are suspended. Right. But that does not mean somebody should be incarcerated for more than 5 years. I don't take to that. But there's a but there, and the caveat is that what is the law on ground? If there is a law that gives the security agents the ability, the power to detain, because I know in some situation that sometimes the security men will go to court, and you see these are various lacuna, as we call it in law, that they take advantage of. You should not detain somebody more than 3 months. They keep on going to the court to extend that detention order. So that is a law. But if there is a law that says no, if after 3 months you find that you do not get anything, you have not gotten anybody culpable, or you have not concluded your investigation, you release him. 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, I was at Ikoyi prisons. And it will baffle you to know that there are 1,870 or so.
Awaiting trial?
No, total number of people in the prison. And out of those numbers in the prison, 1,710 are awaiting trial. So just 126 have been convicted. 120 out of the total population of close to 2,000. It's because of the legal system. And that's why you, watching me, have to come in. Look, if we as voters, we as the electorate don't play our role, then definitely we'll continue in this mess. South Korea, I say in South Korea, 2 weeks, matters are dealt with because they have proactive laws. They have laws that will ensure that things move. Now they are introducing it in the Lagos state system. They call it the fast track system. But then is it that fast? It can't be fast track because it can't stand on its own. The fast track will work with we call it the rules, the rules and regulation and the practice direction that governs the court system. The court cannot be sitting as I'm sitting and as the judge. And I will bring my application. I will say, my lord, my client is not guilty. They have a contract, and of course these people have breached it. You should award 50 million for my client. The court can't do that. He will hear from the other side, and of course there will be various issues. There will be papers to be exchanged in terms of pleadings, in terms of objections, in terms of counters, and it will take time. But once there is a rule, and the court cannot say, hey, that's true, you are a thief. He can't say that. That's what we call he has come into the arena. He has descended into the arena. So there are rules that have tied. That's why sometimes you hear some judges who say, my hands are tied. So the laws are there. That's why when you now vote in people who have the fear of God, they are with us there, then they will now make good laws for this country. You know, I said it earlier on. We run the 1914 laws in various...
Well, maybe there would be a result from the National Conference going on.
The National Conference is dead on arrival. Why I can say that because you see,
you were one of the proponents of the National Conference.
Yes, you see.
So why are you just objecting
Jonathan informed us that he never believed in it, but because of our cries and shout, he now said he's born again. That is now okay. We'll do it. I'll give you. This is akin to a child who is crying. Or let me even leave that one. A hijacker. He has hijacked you inside a plane. You are going to London. He now wants you to go to Dubai or to one of these other countries which is against your destination. You start shouting and crying. They'll say, don't worry. We'll make you happy. Don't worry. Are you not? Destination is destination. We'll give you bread. I'll give you all the best entertainment in the television and inside the craft. That's what is happening. We'll discuss. Because a conference for the people is not tailored. It's not monitored. The man has given them guidelines to follow. And you see the way things are going. Nobody is a fool here. The way things are going is a tailored thing that we must agree on this, we must agree on this. This is what you must allow your people to go and think around.
Should it not be? Because if we are given the carte blanche to just go discuss, and it's going to take us an endless array of...
That's how it is, we the people.
We the people.
That's how it is. You give them the carte blanche to decide their fate. Not that you now restrain them. Not that you now give them terms of reference, you now give them no-go area as it is.
Should there not be in the circumstances as we are?
You see, let me tell you, the truth is bitter. The truth is bitter. If you don't allow people to discuss themselves in a way, that's why I'll give you a very good example. And of course, many women, I'm sure some women will be listening to this. Some women are victims of pounding by their husbands. Pound first year of marriage, second year of marriage, third year of marriage, 10th year of marriage. Maybe after the 20th year of marriage, now say, I can't take it anymore. They now shouted. What the people will say, and you kept quiet for these years? You've been receiving this type of a treatment? Why don't we tell the truth? When I was a small boy, maybe that's what has informed my thoughts. When I was a small kid, my grandmother, I lived with my maternal grandmother. She would tell me, tell the truth and let the devil be ashamed. That's it. The truth is that let us follow what is done all over. Not that we follow things in breaches. You can't get anywhere. Just as I told you, it'd be like this chair. We'll just be moving in circles. When the truth is not done. How about Malaysia?
So what should have been done? What should have been done? Very quickly, sir. With respect to this national...
For the national conference, Nigeria is a country dominated by nationalities.
Yes.
Why don't you allow the nationalities to come together and discuss? What's the big deal in it? They will now discuss what are common problems and our problems. Not that you now say you sieve them.
Thank you very much, Barrister Wale Ogunade, constitutional lawyer, human rights activist, and President Voters Awareness Initiative. It's been a wonderful time with you. Thank you for doing justice to the topic of today.
To God be the glory.
Of course, Core Digest will continue tomorrow, and it's going to be better than this. And for more information and your contribution, you can visit us on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Core TV News, our Twitter handle @Core TV News NG, and also on YouTube, www.youtube.com/Core TV Space News. Sheyi Martins.
Well, this is where we draw the curtain. We're hearing from Ebon Lomo. I am Sheyi, and we want to say a big thank you to you for being there. Tomorrow is another day. You'll join us, would you not? God bless you.
Core TV News, expanding your views.